everyone! Today we're gonna talk about Lagotto Romagnolo coat. Exactly what the title says. Chicha, come here. There we go. So Lagotto Romagnolo coat seem to be the main attraction, or one of the main attractions to the breed. When they're not clipped, they look like a fluffy plush toy dogs, but of course they are not. They are very much working breed, and the coat has a purpose. The breed standard described the coat as semi-rough on surface, double coated, waterproof, with ring-shaped tight curls evenly distributed all over the body. Looser curls allowed on top of the head and ears. So this is ideal situation, but in real life it's not like that for every Lagotto. So the curls could be tighter in one spot and looser in one, throughout the body, especially on the tummy. They are much looser than, let's say, on the neck. And also the rings could be wide and could be small. It all depends on the dog. Some Lagotto form not a ring, but it almost look like cords. The texture varies too. Some have very coarse wool to touch. It feels like a very coarse wool. I would say quite rough to touch, and some would have as soft as silk. So, and of course there is a lot in between. So the soft woolly coat is usually the dogs that have undercoat. So let's say I would divide Lagotto coat types on three types. One is what the breed description says. It is double coated, waterproof, woolly, semi-rough on the surface with tight rings. These dogs have a lot of undercoat, well, some more, some less, but it keeps them warm and it keeps them waterproof. So this type of coat has the most problem with felting. The denser the undercoat, the more dog will felt, and especially it will be true for the dogs that are still puppies and changing coat. It varies with individual dogs, like timing and duration, but usually somewhere around 6 months to 2.5 years old. Most owners don't know what to do with their dogs because they felt so much. It will pass, I can assure you. Once the coat is fully changed to adults, they will felt less. They will still felt, but much less when they are still changing the coat. So the best and easiest way to deal with it is to shave your dog. Like shave your dog short or scissor your dog real short. Shaving will save you time from looking for those felts. Also, you won't have to do the shaving or grooming the dog frequently, and the dog will be happy because there is no problem with shaved coat at all. It dries up fast, it doesn't collect any dirt. So it's much more practical than having a long coat. However, if you choose to have a fluffy puppy, you have to look for those felts and remove them promptly, because if you don't, they're gonna get bigger and bigger and bigger. And on Google you can ask to show you pictures or videos of completely felted dogs. My heart breaks when I see these dogs. It's first of all, a lot of felting will prevent airflow to the skin, which cause irritation to the skin, skin infections. It's not healthy for the skin to have no airflow. Also, of course, there might be some benefits to fully felted dog, like if you go duck retrieving in the cold winter lakes, so the dogs would be fully protected. It will almost resemble like a dry suit for divers, because the water can't penetrate the skin. But in general, we don't do that, and the dog should be maintained felt free and airflow flowing freely to the skin. So the second type of the Lagotto coat would be with no undercoat. Of course, there is somewhere in between, of course, but let's say the dogs with no undercoat will get wet through. It is not waterproof whatsoever. It's almost resemble human hair. When you wet human hair, they are wet all the way, and the longer the hair, the longer it takes it to dry. So I have a Lagotto that don't have undercoat, and the longer the coat, of course they look exactly the same. They very, very curly, and the curls create very dense surface, so when they wet all day. And if they wet all the time, they're gonna start smelling like old rag. So again, the solution is simple. I keep dogs shaved or shortly scissored. It will increase the drying time significantly. Of course, if you have cold, dry climate, it's totally fine to keep the coat longer. The upside of this type of coat is it doesn't felt at all. Maybe 1 or 2 felts I find once in a while, but usually there's no felts at all because there's no undercoat. And with dry climates, if you have dry climates, this coat is perfect. I personally very much like it because I keep both types of coats pretty short, so it doesn't really matter. The third, I should say, type is flat-coated Lagotto. You can ask Google to show you pictures. These dogs don't look anything like normally Lagotto look. They have short hair on the head, face, and legs, and it happens because of the improper coat or lack of furnishing. And you can ask the breeder to show your DNA results for the parents. It's easily avoided when breeding dogs if you don't want to end up with the flat-coated Lagotto. When they are puppies, you can't really see. Perhaps at 5-6 weeks you'll be able to see that the dog doesn't have enough hair on the head and legs. But these dogs are perfectly healthy. There's nothing wrong health-wise with these dogs. They just don't look like a typical Lagotto look. I won't be talking about this type of coat as I have no experience with it. This is just for your information. So we talked about Lagotto coat types, and now we can talk how we can take care of it. So the first thing first is, of course, bath. I bathe mine about once in 2 months, and I won't recommend to bath or shower your dog more often than once a month. First of all, these dogs don't smell at all, unless of course you have an emergency and your dog rolled in the dead fish like mine sometimes do, then the shower is necessary. But usually I wash my dogs just before I groom them, and it's about every 2 to 3 months. I don't wash them more frequently than that. After you wash, well, with washing, the shampoo should be non-oil stripping shampoo. This type of shampoo doesn't strip natural oils from the dog hair, and if you use oil stripping shampoo, the hair will become brittle and it will not chew a lot. So non-oil stripping shampoo for dogs, and after you wash your dog, you can tap dry with the towel, and then if you want to have a dog that look rustic as per breed standard, you can let your dog air dry at room temperature without any devices. Just let the dog dry as is naturally. This way you will have curls form down to the skin, and you will have rustic looking Lagotto. I usually wash my dogs when I have to groom them, and if you're planning to groom your dog, you need to untangle the curls, and I use air force blower for this. I uncurl the curls with air force blower, and then I comb out any mats or felts that I can find, and then I finish drying the dog with air blower, because to clip your dog you have to have coat completely dry. Sometimes I clip my dogs before washing because it takes a long time to dry. With scissoring you can have a little bit of damp coat, which will be okay to scissor, but clipping the coat must be dry. So once you remove all the felts, you can finish the drying and scissor the dog. The scissoring only happens when the coat is uncurled, because it's impossible to scissor curled dogs. So I hear a lot people saying, oh, my groomer did this to my dog and it looks like a poodle or bichon or something like that. So it is super easy to get the curls back. Just wet your dog thoroughly, just put it in the shower, and the wet dog, once the dog dries up after being wet, the curls will get back. The groomers must straighten the curls in order to sear the dogs, and it just takes a lot of time to water the dogs again, and then it takes a long time for them to dry, especially if the coat left long. So as I was saying before, the curls can be small or wide, and the grooming or scissoring goal, I should say, for especially dogs that go to a show, to scissor the coat long enough for the coat to form curl. It will be different for different dogs depending what kind of curls your dog have, but I don't normally scissor my dogs to allow to form the full curl, because this way it feels like I would have to touch up in a month to freshen up the dog's coat, and scissoring every dog every month is just a little bit too much. So what I do when I scissor really short to the skin. It's much easier to scissor the dog shorter, because you can see the length to the skin, and you can easily continue with the same length all over the body, following the shape of the dog. And also it will increase the time before the grooming. I have a tutorial videos on how to groom your dogs. To scissor your Lagotto, you can watch the video Grooming Lagotto is Fun. And to clip your Lagotto, you can watch the easy combo Lagotto Romagnolo groom. I hope you enjoy the videos, and I hope you can try and groom your Lagotto yourself. It takes practice, and it's totally doable. Anybody can do it. I am not a groomer myself. I learned to groom my dogs myself, and it just took practice, and now it's super fast and easy, and dogs don't mind it because we practiced a lot when they were puppies. So because Lagotto have hair and not fur, they must be groomed regularly, must be trimmed regularly. The Lagotto breed standard calls for Lagotto coat to be about 4 centimeters or 2 inches. I find it that it's a little bit long. The longer the coat, the more difficult is the maintenance. So with the long coat you have this kind of problems. You go in the woods and dog collect sticks, grasses, seeds. They dig a lot, so all the dirt, the longer the coat, the more dirt the coat will collect and bring it home. In the winter, the longer the coat, the bigger snowballs they're gonna collect on their legs. So problems everywhere. The shorter the coat, the easier the maintenance. And I find dogs like short coat, especially in the summer. I might shave them, like completely shave them, head and legs included. And it's super easy to look for ticks. We go hike a lot in the woods and dog runs through the terrains. And when you have a long coat, it's kind of hard to see if any suckers get attached to the skin. With shorter coat I can see much faster and find it much faster, remove it much faster, so I would rather have a short coat. And of course dogs like to swim, and it's practical to have a short coat. Although they don't look as cute as fluffy dogs, it's better for dogs because they get hot with long hair as well. I hope you find this video helpful and you found lots of useful information and you are inspired to groom your own Lagotto. And I'll see you next time. Goodbye!